I
Good
was
stuff,
actually
man.
just going to touch on that about you being, or you had to be spoiled after the first two. Was it weird not going to the Super Bowl for that third year in a row, especially it being your third year of your career?
It was weird. I didn't really know how to feel about it because it was just almost it was so expected. So just to get like hit in the mouth and like finally served up some humble pie because I hadn't been served it since college. Um, it hurt to not make it again because we were just I felt like a well-oiled machine and we had all the pieces put together. But just that Denver game, we just had I think we had 5 turnovers in that game, and you're
Oh.
not in a game with 5 turnovers, so it's an unfortunate way to go out.
Hmm.
So I'm a high school athlete, and I think one thing I've struggled with, and I know a lot of my teammates have struggled with, is accepting accountability and not pointing fingers because nobody wants to mess up. And when you're on the highest level of any sport, obviously you know that you can't be pointing fingers. How did you deal with that and take accountability for when you messed up?
That's a good question. I mean, I would say be the first one to acknowledge it is always key. If you make a mistake, own up to it immediately. So that way, everyone knows that you feel bad about it, but also don't let it be something that you dwell on, right? Everyone makes mistakes. You jump offside on a play or you get a penalty. You got to take that on the chin and say, that's my bad, guys. But at the same time, it's not like, oh, we lost because of me. I'm seeing this, what's happening with that guy on the Bengals that was beating himself up a little bit about that last play against Mahomes. And
Yeah.
there's um, a teammate like yelling at him on the way into the locker room. And
Yeah.
I
Saw that.
think, it's when it's a team sport, everyone can point the finger at somebody. And the best thing you could do is just, remember that, is whenever you point, there's one pointing back at you. And uh, if you just own it and stay humble about it, I think you'll be fine. It's just if you're the one that's pointing fingers or looking for someone to blame, that's what's going to deteriorate a team. So just be accountable for anything you do and take ownership of it, and you'll be fine.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Guys like that too. I like playing with guys that even if they had a great game, if they made one mistake, they'll call themselves out. Like I could have.
Yeah.
So that's always a good thing to do.
So
Me too.
obviously you've been a part of some great winning teams. And I feel a big part of that is developing a good culture and staying in a good mindset. What was your pregame mindset and how did you like get in the mood for the game? Any like routines or anything?
Good question. A lot of it for me was music. I had a playlist that of songs that would kind of put me in like a soldier mentality, like ready to just, die on the field, ready to just sell out completely, just full, just let it all go, no
Right.
work, like leave it all out in the field, kind of mind state. And so a lot of it would be putting on the headphones. And then before every game, I would go like and lock myself in a bathroom and
Mm.
look in the mirror and like just talk to myself and tell myself like you're gonna own the day. Like this is all about you. Obviously it's a team game, but I was like, you gotta perform, you gotta dominate, nobody can block you. And I would just like try to reassure myself and confirm with myself that I couldn't be stopped. And that was one of my pregame rituals, along with eating spaghetti and meatballs before every game. And
Yeah.
then my dad would always, before every game, would pray for me, and we would do a prayer together. And then I would always make sure I talked to both my parents. My mom would, tell me, go out there and go give them hell. And but yeah, just I'd have a talk with myself, a talk with my closest loved ones, and then I'd have my music playing, ready to rock.
Mm.
I
Wow.
love that. I do that too, Tully. That is awesome to hear. I freaking love it. And I love the prayer. I'm always praying.
Oh,
That's exactly
Same
what I'm
here.
doing before every one of
I
my
love
baseball games, is along with watching just like long home runs, and that's helped me. So
yeah.
It's great.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Channel the focus, channel it in,
Yeah.
speak it into existence.
So I think one thing about athletes that gets overlooked is mental health, and playing any sport at that high level, obviously you're faced with a lot of criticism. How have you over your career dealt with that? And even if you haven't dealt with it, if you struggle with it, how have you tried to overcome it?
Great question. A lot of experiences that have happened to me, I've either had them firsthand or secondhand. I did play with Junior Seau, and the things he told me numerous times in my talks with him was to find your peace. He'd always be like, Tully, you got to find your peace. And it's
Right.
not necessarily your family. It's not necessarily any of those things, because then now you're depending on those things. And can you find your peace when you're by yourself and it's just you? And that was very powerful to hear that coming from him. And then later seeing what happened, and that he was essentially saying that he was trying to find his peace. And so stuck with me. And I think, as a player, we go through a lot of different ups and downs and emotional roller coasters. And for me, it's always just been, if I can go through this, I can go through anything. And there's been certain situations where it's like, I don't know if I can recover from this. And I do recover from it. And so it's always gives me the strength to lean on something that's bad that's happened to me that I've survived, to know that like really nothing can break me. And finding my peace is, the ability to close my eyes and just let go of everything that's going on. When I was playing and if I was going through a stressful situation, I would do the same. I would, like I told you about going into the mirror and talking to myself, but another thing, I would just try to close my eyes, clear my thoughts, and just empty my mind, and allow myself to just be in the moment and not worry about any external things that are happening. And I think that's what a lot of players, they can get caught up in everything else that's happening in their world, and they lose sight of themselves, and they can make a decision that can cost them. And sometimes you just have to breathe and close your eyes and tune out all the noise, and just know that you can get through anything if you just wait out the storm. And storms, as we all know, the sun comes behind every storm.
Yep.
And so sometimes you just got to wait out the storm. And you can look outside and it's like, oh man, when is this going to end? It's never going to end. But summer is coming.
Right.
It's going to be popping in the summer.
Yeah.
So, you just have to just get through them winter storms, man, and realize that it's not forever. Nothing lasts forever.